Go.
We are
Welcome.
Dystopica.
You're good.
I
You're
thought you
good. I
wanted
can
me
edit
to first.
Long ago, five men set out from their own paths to achieve their own destinies. Now they are brothers, united under one cause. Alone they are strong, together they are unbreakable. They are bonded by metal.
Welcome to Bonded by Metal. I'm your host, the Disciple of Rock, joined by Pope Metallicus and a few other fine people. So, first, I want to just say hello to my wonderful co-host, Pope. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm glad to be doing this. This is something I always wanted to do with our channel, and I'm glad to see we're finally getting able to do it.
Right? And some of you in the audience might be like, who are these beautiful people on screen? We're used to seeing some some goofy goobers, but instead we got these fine people on here. Becky, why don't you tell the lovely people in the audience who you guys are and what you guys do?
We are Dystopica, and I am Becky, the vocalist.
Nice. Okay. And who are these fine gentlemen with you here today?
Who would like to go first? Introduce themselves.
Okay. I'm Connor. I play guitar in Dystopica.
I'm Rob. I also play guitar.
I'm Matt. I play bass.
And I'm Christian. Sometimes go by Ham, and I play drums. And we are Dystopica.
Awesome. So, the pretext to this, if anyone who's watching saw my Burning Witches concert review, you know I mentioned the band Dystopica. I had a lot of just awesome things to say about them. They absolutely were amazing. And they were kind enough to do an interview with us tonight. So I guess we just got to lead it off with the first question. Obviously, you guys are from Connecticut, my home state. What's it like being a metal band in Connecticut or just the New England scene?
Cold.
There's a lot of that.
Well, I would say that it's cool. It's the fact that there is a really huge scene here is really nice. You know, There's a lot of people that we get to play with. There's always show opportunities that that come our way around these parts. And you know, it's I mean, one of the other things too is that I would say the metal world gets a little bit smaller sometimes. So you get to see the same. Sometimes you get to see the same people more than once. You get to see the same people at different shows. Sometimes if you're not performing, you get to see them. So it's really fun.
Yeah, there's shows everywhere. You just gotta, look for them sometimes.
No, I'm originally from the Boston area. Have you guys ever played Sammy's Patio in Revere?
No, we haven't.
I've not, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's like me and a friend of mine used to do shows there every now and again. It was a great little bar, like maybe 100 people. Some really cool little shows in there.
I've played in Massachusetts before, but I've played at Ralph's.
Okay.
So, and we've played. I believe we've also we've played there, but in two different places. The one we just did, and then there was another one I don't remember. Oh, Salem, yeah, at the paranormal convention.
Okay, yeah. My dad's actually from Salem. I know that place well.
So playing now, as far as concerts you did, was Burning Witches like one of the first well-known bands that you guys have opened for?
No, but that was definitely one of our is an amazing show. And the second show with this current lineup we have.
Okay. Oh wow, it's only your guys' second together.
With
And how long have you
all
guys
five of us?
with all five of us, with Matt on bass.
I'm the
And how
second
long-
newest.
And how long have you guys all five been in a lineup together?
Not for that long. For
Yeah.
the end of last year, beginning of this year was the first doing shows with this current lineup.
Nice. And so who was the other band you guys opened for?
We've opened for Metal Church back in 2023. That was, I think, the first national band we opened for. Then we opened for Gemini Syndrome, Adelaide's Way. We did this festival a while back with some bands. It was Skillet, and like we met Deadlands there, and then we did another show where we opened for Deadlands, and then we that was it. Yeah.
Those are some
For anyone, no, am I forgetting something?
I don't think so. I think that's pretty
No,
much
I
it.
don't think so.
Those are some
Okay.
very big names. You mentioned Skillet. You mentioned Metal Church. Did I hear that correctly?
Yes.
Wow, and they just released an album today. That's crazy.
Yes, that was a fun show. That was opening for Metal Church was the first time we opened for a national band like that, and it was at the Chance in Poughkeepsie.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
May it rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my hometown, so that
Same.
one really hurt.
It
So,
always
I
sucks
know-
to lose your local venue.
So, now who's the main, like, I guess, who's like the writer? Like, we're talking behind, off stage with Christian. He mentioned that it's kind of seems like a group effort, but like, who's the like, who would be the main writer behind a lot of the music?
That would be me.
Okay, and who would be like your biggest influences?
Iron Maiden, Judas Priest. So we did the Judas Priest cover. I actually have a lot of different influences. Like I'm very inspired by classic heavy metal, but I also love different bands, progressive metal, thrash metal. I'm very big into Mastodon, Gojira. So I kind of just I take all my I don't like to limit us to one thing. I kind of just take everything I'm influenced by and just kind of let the songs write themselves in a way. And I feel like we have our own sound, so it's not really like one thing. It's like classic metal combined with modern metal, and I pull influence from a lot of different bands I love, but mostly like classic metal, thrash metal, progressive metal.
Yeah, I can definitely hear that in when you guys play, because the one thing I got from like really going deep into your guys' discography was I noticed that like you guys are trying to cover a lot of different areas where it's like you don't really have a genre where you're kind of like you said, you're your own thing. And I think that's kind of a big thing because I think some of the best bands never really fit into a genre. Like one of my favorite bands of all time is Wasp or like Dokken, right? And they kind of, people will say, oh, they're glam. Others will go, no, they're heavy, or no, they're this. So I think that's a really good place to be because you end up just becoming associated with yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well said.
So,
And how did all this start? Like, was this an idea you always had, or was this just kind of a thing that kind of became its own monster?
I always loved heavy metal ever since I was little, and I always wanted to do my own band, my own music. So then, when I was in college, I just decided like I'm gonna form a band now, and it was like right as COVID was happening and everything, and the beginning stages it took a lot. I met Rob at that time, and we were just working on the songs. I just started writing. Like I always had song ideas, but it wasn't until then that I was really like writing these songs and getting them together, and then finally released in 2021 our first EP, Perception, and then from there kept going with it.
Nice.
Awesome.
So you said you liked metal since you were little. Who got you into metal?
Both my parents and my grandparents.
Okay.
So I used to go to and my cousin, because I used to go to my grandparents' house, and my grandma would play Iron Maiden, Judas Priest. That's how those became my favorite bands.
Your grandma sounds awesome.
Yeah, she actually went with me to see Iron Maiden the last time I saw them, and Judas Priest. She goes to the concerts with me. So yeah, that's how I got into them. My cousin was like into new metal, Slipknot and stuff when I was young, so I would listen to that. And then my mom is into rock music. She loves Pat Benatar. Pat Benatar, I've always loved. She's one of my main vocal idols. Amazing vocalist, classically trained. So yeah, and then my dad listens to like Metallica and stuff. So yeah, just growing up, I've been around it.
So yeah, so it's you definitely, but you seem to look more to the trope that you're born a metalhead, not made a metalhead.
Yeah.
Right? You're never made. You never made. A
I
metalhead.
can
You're the
literally,
born
I
guy.
can't remember a time where I didn't like know metal. Like I've listened to it pretty much my whole life.
So continue on with like metal. Your vocal is a very unique work, and something that impressed me live was how you can switch how you're singing on a dime, and it reminded me of King Diamond in a lot of ways.
Thank you. Yeah, he's awesome. I have, I started classically trained, so like I with classical music, and I always loved metal. But like it wasn't until forming this band that I really like was working on my voice and how I want my voice to be, and find my own voice, because I love Rob Halford, Bruce Dickinson. I love them; they're my idols. But I want to have my own sound too. But basically, like just I incorporate the classical singing with the gritty singing with the growling, and it took a while to like find the right combination. But yeah.
Yeah, that's because like to me, like what defines a band is how they're played live, and you guys live, like I said, that was incredible. That was a great opening act. It got me really going, and that to me, like that's what an opener should do, and you guys nailed that.
To the point
Thank
where
you so much.
he called me after the show and was just like, "You need to hear these guys." I'm like, "Okay, I'm glad you like the opener." He's like, "No, they did a cover of Free Will Burning." I'm like, "You have my attention."
Yeah, I think I literally being the guy I was standing next to at the concert. He had an Anthrax shirt on, and all of a sudden you guys started playing Madhouse, and we both looked at each other. I think me and him were literally like jumping up and down to Madhouse, because that was such a good cover.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. That was
It's
a lot
fun
of
to
work.
play.
Thank you.
And one of Anthrax's all-time classics. So like, it's kind of a daunting task to cover a song like that, because if you mess it up, people are going to be really mad.
Yeah, don't do Judas Priest covering Go Johnny Go. We try to forget that ever happened.
Oh yeah, that was the thing that happened.
I guess going around, if we can ask let's ask the bandmates some questions. Like, who would be, Christian, we'll start off with you since you're on the top corner for at least me. Drumming wise and band wise, who are your influences?
Oh boy. Growing up, obviously my father was a professional drummer. He played in the Good Rats in Long Island. He played with Brittany Fox on tour a couple times. So growing up in a very musical household, my dad's biggest influence. Then I would say Christian Coma from Black Veil Brides, big influence in getting me into the metal, kind of touching that little range over there. And then obviously Joey Jordison, and nowadays Eloy Casagrande, amazing drummer.
Nice. I'm gonna pass that off to Rob. Same question for you, buddy.
So basically, my influences are all over the place. Especially when I put solos together for the songs, I usually try to think of, which influence or what style of playing would sound best for each song. So, but mainly my influences primarily are usually like Gary Holt from Exodus. I'm usually kind of a Bay Area thrash kind of player. So there's that. Alex Skolnick, Eric Peterson. The other one I would say that gets talked a lot but not mentioned nearly enough is of course Chuck Schuldiner from Death. Yeah. And then the one guitar player that also doesn't really, this one is hardly mentioned and he should be mentioned a lot more, but Bill Steer from Carcass.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so a lot of
incredible.
A lot of extreme metal bands, which hey, I love that.
Definitely.
Our buddy in Paradise would be very happy to hear that. That's like his scene.
Yeah, we're a co-host of 5 different guys, but like because me and Pope here are both from New England, we figured we would be the ones talking about this because we could ask like Eastern United States related like questions. Connor, what about you?
Mine are kind of the same. It's very much all over the place. I was I feel like I had a lot of classic rock influences and heavy metal influences growing up, from like bands like Rat to Bon Jovi. My parents really got me into a lot of like traditional Irish music as well, which I listen to all the time, and just a lot of sort of like cultural music and everything like that. So it kind of comes from everywhere. But as far as guitar players, I would have to say Chuck Schuldiner always been a big one. John from Dying Fetus, As They Lay Dying, both guitar players, Phil and Nick, have always been people that I've admired. Matt Heafy from Trivium is a big one. The list just goes on and on.
Cool. And then Matt, because we touched on, we asked Becky, so Matt.
Well, my background is kind of rooted in classic rock. My parents listened to the Beatles and Sabbath and Deep Purple, so I was like really into that when I was younger. And then when I got into high school, I kind of branched out into like a lot of the '90s stuff. So Pantera, the groove and their stuff is, I mean, you can't argue that it's all over it. And like I'm primarily a guitar player, but I love playing bass. So like most of the stuff that I play is pretty groove oriented on guitar, and I just moved it over there.
Yeah. So, I guess a question for me is, there's been a lot of good tours of late, right? I think it's a really, really good time to be in the metal scene in particular. But one thing I would ask, like, where do you guys see yourselves like going? Like, where do you guys? Obviously, I think everyone wants to be like at the top, but like what are some like goals you're looking to hit within the next several years?
I'm just hoping that the more we do this, the more our music we gain new fans, exposure. I'm just looking to just continue that.
Good. And I noticed that on June, I think 13th it is, you guys are playing at the legendary Toad's Place. Is that your first time playing there?
It'll be our third time playing there.
Oh, you've played there before. Okay.
Yes.
So, what is it like playing there? Because this is a question I want to ask, because obviously, I think you know the weight of that stage, right? God himself played on that stage, right? The Rolling Stones played on that stage, right? So, you name it, they probably have played there. What's it like being on that stage?
It's amazing. It's amazing to play that stage. For me, I mean, and being from Connecticut, just playing the legendary stage, Toad's Place, it's an honor.
Yeah, and it's a phenomenal. It's my favorite place to go see a concert. I saw my second ever metal concert was there, and it was Armored Satan Queensryche, and
nice.
Oh, beauty.
My ears are still ringing from that show.
Right. And you guys also played my favorite venue, the Palladium in Worcester. I can't tell you how many shows I've been to there, because it was like 40 minutes from my.
I've been to a lot of shows there too.
Good spot.
It's a great little venue.
So, now you guys are releasing an EP this year, correct?
Yes.
Nice. And can you guys give us like the name for it, or is that still like going to be a surprise?
We can't announce that yet. That's going to be a surprise.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, hey, I cannot wait for it. I'm absolutely going to review it, because I was listening to your guys' music and I'm just like, I can't, like, again, I got to keep repeating it. Your production quality is top notch.
That shocked me for a newer band, of how well produced it was and how tight everything sounded.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're heavily involved in the mixing and mastering process. We do all our work at Dexter's Lab with Nick Belmore. He's worked with countless names. Last time I was recording, he had Hatebreed's drums in there. It was a great time. So we've been doing a lot of work with him. Everything I've done with the band has been recorded there. He's a great guy. Would recommend anybody to go there. It's a great time.
It's a fun fact. I actually I've known that guy for a really long time. It was really funny. I had all these old pictures from, let's see. So I think the first time I met him, he was actually on tour with Kingdom of Sorrow. And that was also the one where Kenny Hickey from Typo Negative was replacing Kirk Winstein from Crowbar on guitar because Kirk was with Down opening for Metallica that year. So I have pictures of him and me from that show. Then I met him in 2013 at Heavy MTL in Montreal. Then he was touring with Toxic Holocaust like a year later. And then a few years ago when we started working with him, I was like, oh, I know you.
It's you. You're the guy.
Right? Well, what's always shocks people is, people don't think California and New York, I feel, would have the biggest reputation for metal, right? Because of obviously the glam metal scene that kind of really started in the punk, and some of the glam started in New York with things like Wasp, and which went over to California. But a lot of people don't realize how metal, like the New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, and like Massachusetts are. Because obviously, like Connecticut, you had bands like Legion Lord and countless bands from Massachusetts. So I really want to more focus on, like, to you guys, like, explain to people how metal Connecticut really is. Because while I don't know necessarily it's going to be as large as you'll get in some places, the people you meet here are diehard. Like, they're hardcore metal fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's honestly, when it comes to the kinds of bands that I've, because I've actually performed in Connecticut quite a few times before I was in Dystopica. So I'm pretty familiar with the scene out here. And a long time ago, I remember it was about around 2012, 2013, around that time, there was a lot of black metal. There was a lot of it. I remember it like it was almost yesterday. In fact,
you might know an old friend of mine was the guitarist in Ash and Wings for a while.
Oh, I wonder who.
Devin Moranti.
Oh, I don't think I met him, but I remember back in 2012, actually, there was, I'm sure you're familiar with, or 2013 maybe, I'm sure you might be familiar with Winter is Coming Fest.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was at the LNG in New London. I remember that like it was yesterday because, what was it, Vital Remains and Evokin were like headlining the first night. Then the next day was an even bigger deal because it was Agalloch headlining.
Yeah.
So,
I wanted to go to that, but I was too young.
I
was busy elsewhere at the time.
Yeah, we were on right before Vital Remains, and they asked to borrow my fog machine that I got from Halloween. So that was fun. But I mean, yeah, I'm very familiar with the scene out here. I mean, nowadays, I think the kind of metal that we're hearing more of is closer to like metalcore, or maybe some more of like the you've got, or more like kind of like Deftones influenced metal, maybe a little bit Static X influenced metal, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
and I'm glad to hear that, because like for a while there in the mid 2000s, the scene was just kind of in the doldrums a little bit. Like everybody was kind of sounding the same. There weren't really that many big bands out that people got excited for. So I'm glad to see it coming back.
Yeah, the variety is welcome.
Yeah.
Now,
Should mention also there's a lot of prog bands too.
I was actually
and they're brilliant.
I was actually about to ask you if you guys are into like the new wave of traditional heavy metal at all. Bands like Enforcer, Ambush, those guys.
Oh,
I opened for Enforcer once.
Really?
Yeah,
I think my other band opened for them too.
Yeah, it was. Oh, it was at the Chance with Warbringer.
Yeah. Oh no shit. Huh.
Gosh.
Small world.
Right? Yeah, small world indeed.
Crazy thing with the metal
show.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, I forgot you guys were on there, and then it was divided.
That was a great show too.
One. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was killer.
They
Warbringer.
Yeah.
Probably because they didn't know who Enforcer was, but yeah, it was wonderful.
No, that was one of like the best shows I've been to at the Chance.
So you guys are talking about like the new wave of, we're talking about the new wave of traditional heavy metal. What do you guys think about bands like Tailgunner, right? I just saw a thing recently on Instagram from Tailgunner where they were talking about, we want to be the next Iron Maiden, Judas Priest. And kind of to touch on that, like, is that a goal you guys want to reach for? Like, are you like gonna make like? Are you? I obviously think everyone's gonna make the push, but are you guys like really like? Are you guys like? Is that something you guys want? Or are you guys just like kind of trying to think of a really good way to phrase that question? But like, do you
I think
guys,
we're
yeah.
all right, Christian can answer.
Yeah, I think we all have the same goal in this band. I mean, we're all looking to hopefully eventually make this a career, to support our families and playing music, doing what we love. I think our live shows are real special. I love getting people out there and performing for them. And like you said, we try to make an impact on how we can, and the rest of the band can jump in here. But I think we're really trying to do our best to get to that next level, and then the next level, and the next level. You know?
Yeah.
I
Wherever
think
the experience takes us.
Yeah, I think the other thing too is I think we want to be our best selves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not necessarily that we want to sound like X, Y, or Z. It's just we want to be our best, the best of what we do. And it's not to say that I'm putting the influences on the back seat, or that we're kind of just we're just kind of like trying to be wholly original or something like that. It's more like whatever what it is that we do, we just want to keep doing it and do it well.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's fair to say.
And hope that other people enjoy it. Like,
yeah, of course.
That's
I'm
really all there is.
Something to that.
I think.
Like, your influences, you're never gonna get rid of those. Like, those are the way that you experience music. Like, that's what connected you to music in the first place. So, like, you are gonna the way you interpret that stuff. That's what we're gonna try and distill. Like, whatever that most true self is, I think that's what we work towards in terms of like thinking about it while you're writing. And you almost don't have to. It's just there.
Yeah,
that's the way I see it, at least.
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, I think trying to go away from your influences and like on purpose is actually where a lot of bands go wrong, because it's part of your sound whether you like it or not, and trying to consciously go away from that is just going to slow things down. And
it's not authentic then.
Pretty much, like, it's just not you at that point.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I'm really glad you guys had a chance to sit down and talk to us with this. I started my channel back in 2021 to do exactly this: highlight bands that I think people should be listening to more. And I do that. I used to do a show called Rock and Roll Religion, where we just pick a few albums and talk about them. We have a Bonded by Metal radio show that we do now, where I love highlighting up and coming bands like this. I'd be glad to put you guys into our regular rotation, because I'm really enjoying what I hear out of you. And
Thank you so much.
See where you guys go.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Very much.
I guess so we were talking about your influence and stuff like that. What do you guys think of the band of Ghost? Like, they're a band of, I'm obsessed with Ghost right now, so I like to hear what other people think of them.
Well, I would say, I think a lot of people, I would say one thing that I do like about them is their variety of sound. They don't really, a lot of people classify them as a metal band, and at least initially they did. I don't think that was really the best decision to make. I think, they're better, even though, from what I understand, the Tobias Forgo was part of the black metal scene or something,
Yeah, he had a band,
and that's kind of what.
Good.
But yeah, that was kind of part of the whole, gimmick. Is that they were all people from the black metal scene, and they weren't going to tell anyone who they were, and this whole thing. But honestly, I would classify them more as a rock band, and or even what everybody said. Oh, it's like Blue Oyster Cult, and I'm like, not really. I felt their sound was a lot closer to the really early, really early Judas Priest, really early there were basically what would eventually become metal, but was kind of the early 1970s hard rock.
Proto metal.
Yeah, you can hear a lot of the influences in there.
Yeah, Lucifer's Friend, or
Yeah, Blues
I can hear a lot of
Traveler, those guys.
Great ear for melody they have. Yeah.
I mean, I've seen them 3 times, I think, now in the last like 5 or 6 years. And the one thing that I've always noticed about them is that like just progressively their show just always gets bigger and bigger and better. So
Yeah, I saw them twice on the Skeletor. I saw them in Boston, and I just saw them at Mohegan in January. And they put on probably one of the best shows you will probably see. That's not like Alice Cooper or like Sabaton.
yeah,
Right.
it does feel like you're experiencing something, but without that like kind of theatrical like play feel to it.
Now, I'm a music educator by trade, and so one summer I used to I actually do this every summer, but our district has a camp that's free for all the students in the district, and most of the times when we do a band, we do what's called a modern band, which is now this curriculum has started to become much more popular within the last 10 years. And this is basically where you're teaching, instead of teaching kids melodies and how to play scales on their instrument and such, you focus on instruments that have chords. So essentially you're teaching them riffs more so than you're teaching them these little melodies and sheet music and such. And so one year we actually ended up doing Square Hammer. And of course that's a perfect teaching tool for when you have 4 chords in a song, and basically your 1, your 4, your 5, etc. Those different chords make up a song, and of course form which part is the verse, which part is the chorus, and so on. So for me and for our modern band, it was an excellent teaching tool. So. It's wonderful to be able to get that kind of music in the hands of the people we serve.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I do like that approach too. If you're not just teaching people how to play an instrument, you're also teaching them how to construct a song, why things are done this way. I really like that because it's the education I never got. I just picked up a guitar and started playing, and I'm still not very good at it.
Oh yeah, and plus we use a whole different notation. So when you're learning a song, they give you basically a picture of what chord you're playing in that one section, and then underneath it, they have the beat numbers, and then they have kind of like sometimes for piano they'll do fingers, so it'll be like they'll show you 1, 3, and 5, and then they'll be like play it this many times for the verse, play it this many times for the chorus, and it's way easier when it comes to learning a song. So instead of sitting there with the recorder going like hot cross buns and
right.
and getting frustrated and having a hard time, this one clicks a lot better in general, I've noticed.
That's really awesome because, like you say, I grew up in the public education system, and a lot of the music classes weren't really all that good.
No,
they're super dry.
Oh yeah,
I skipped my music classes to go play music.
Right. When I was in college, I had to take a throwaway course so I could get my grant. So I'm like, okay, what do I take for a throwaway course? Right, it was community college, and all of a sudden I see the history of rock and roll. I'm like, oh, I know what I'm taking, and it was a dry online class. It's like, okay, I know half of this stuff by just talking to my friends, but it was definitely a lot of fun. But you mentioned you were talking about some black metal, Rob. What do you think of the original black metal band? Well, we'll say second, but technically they kind of started Bathory.
Oh my goodness. I gotta say, they really are kind of a hidden gem, even though in the black metal scene, they're like God, pretty much. Bathory really, for me, was a hidden gem because, each record really is that different. There's the first, and then even when it gets to like the pressings, so like if you get the first record and you get they call it the yellow goat version.
Yep.
And then there's the white goat version. The yellow goat version pressing is a lot dirtier, and then the white goat pressing is kind of a bit cleaner, a bit more, I guess, sanitized, But the yellow goat pressing is considered to be like the rarest. It's considered to be like the holy grail almost. I mean, gosh, what was it? From Toxic Holocaust. I forgot his name, but he actually formed a band called Yellow Goat after that record. And then years later, you find an album like Nordland, and you're sitting here going, "Wow, this is the theme. This is the theme to Wings of Freedom from StarCraft."
Right.
So, and you realize things like A Fine Day to Die basically spawned a Monomarth and a bunch of other bands.
Yeah, that would come from like Nordland, or I forgot. There was another one where he did a song called Hammerheart, and that's literally him singing. He sings the melody that he sings is the hymn to Jupiter from Gustav Holst's Jupiter, but he put different words over it, and it sounds gorgeous.
And like, I've always been a fan of the original album. I mean, like, I love The Return, but I think the first one's a little better. And it was funny. I used to work at a brewery, and we were allowed to play music in the warehouse. So I'd just be running around on the forklift playing like the first Bathory record. And my boss actually went to Berkeley. He's a trained jazz drummer, and he heard me drive by. I think it was Necromancy he was playing. He's like, "What the fuck is that?" And I was just like, he's like, "It sounds like it was recorded on an answering machine inside of a trash can next to a construction site." I'm like, "Yeah, it's great." It probably was. I mean, I think the first record, you can actually hear the hum from the amplifiers in the background.
Oh yeah, no, it sounded like a garage with a little, and I think that's how they used to do it. Was, you get into a garage, get yourself a tape recorder, throw it in the middle of the room, and you're good to go.
Yep. And the product was amazing.
Oh yeah.
You just mentioned how things were recorded. What's your guys' question? I do need to ask. What's your guys' process when you're writing? Like, how you guys get yourselves going? Like, what do you guys do for inspiration? And then, what's the process?
Well, I will write all the songs out in tab, a sheet music, and I'll send it to everybody. And then everyone brings their own style to the table and change. Like Christian will change up the drums and a little bit, and then Rob will do solos. I don't write the solo part; he'll solo over in the song, and basically we rehearse before we record. We do rehearsal, go through the song, because it's good to play it before the actual recording, and it's so great to see the process from when I originally because when I'm writing these songs, I'll think of them and then record myself playing it on piano. The guitar riffs, because I'm bad at guitar, so I'll just plunk up the notes on keyboard and record it, and then I put it out into sheet music, and then just seeing the process from where it starts to what it becomes is just so cool.
And for those of you, I guess what I would ask too is every band kind of has a typical theme they sing about, right? What is the basis, the subject for most of your songs? If you want to put a subject to it.
I think every song's different. When I write songs, when they come to me, in my head, I usually have a different emotion for each one or different subject matter. So I just go with the original emotion of the song, even if there's no lyrics yet. Whatever I'm thinking of, it usually comes with some sort of meaning attached to it, and I just go with that.
Gotcha. And my other question, and this would be directed at you, right? It's one thing I love is I love watching bands write music, right? There is a little mini documentary or behind the scenes footage of Queen recording the song One Vision, right? And everyone in Queen will tell you,
yep,
Freddie Mercury was very meticulous and he was very particular. Yes. Who is kind of that drive?
Well, I'm definitely very particular about things, and I think Christian is the same way. So just two people.
Me and Matt have not, or we're newer, but we haven't been a part as much of the writing process yet. But I care very much about how stuff sounds. So it's very much along the same page for me.
Is that something you want to continue?
But we also have the same goal. We understand what Dystopica is, and we're pushing to make one cohesive sound as a group.
Yeah, excellent.
Yes,
and I love that because I could see it on stage. You guys were like you guys looked like you were having fun with each other, and there's a chemistry there that's gorgeous. But I love hearing that you let everyone contribute, because I think that is such a smart angle to go by. Because like even the Beatles would do things like that, right? Like, hey, I got this idea in my head. I think my idea is right, but what's your input, right? Because
Definitely.
you're again that sets you up for more success, because you could hear something, right? Because I think again, I can go to the Beatles. This is the best example off the top of my head is the song Obla Di Obla Da, right? McCartney had a more of a reggae kind of sound in his head. John Lennon came back, under something and just said, "Hey, this is how we play this song," and play that opening, that opening piano, and it's like, this is how this song's being played. And Paul McCartney's like, yeah, he's right. So that to me is such. I love when I hear that everyone gets to contribute. I think that's such a cool thing to hear.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I just want what is best for each song in our sound. What is best for this band, and as the songs, like as the process goes on, like just deciding as a band, like what is best for each song. And also our producer Nick Belmore is amazing, and anytime he has input, we take it too. So,
yeah, I'd like to jump in and add that Becky's done a great job of letting us in. I understand that sometimes when you have a project that's yours, it's your baby, so you want to make it exactly what you want, and I really appreciate that Becky's opened the door to allow us in and contribute and make it something we're all very happy with.
Yeah, and that's what I can even hear in the music. Like, you guys definitely seem like you guys put a ton of work into it to make it sound perfect. And again, I love that. Absolutely love it. So, for each of you, I do want to ask one question. I'm sure now you could say all of them if you want. Do each of you have a favorite song that you guys have done that you just look at and you're like, yeah, that one just was special to me.
Okay, I'll go first. So, one of my favorite songs is not out yet. So, you'll hear it later this year. One of my favorites of our whole catalog is not out yet.
Okay.
But out of the ones that are out, and because all these songs are very special to me. So I writing them, like I love them all for different reasons. I think one that is a little like, it's hard to say. I don't really even have a favorite, but one song that is really special to me would be Insidious Onset on our album Infinite Reflection. It's a little over 7 minutes. It's the longest song we have, and I just love that song. When I was writing it, I was just like, at the time I was like, this is gonna be my favorite song that we have, and then I ended up just loving it. It's like it's heavy classic metal mixed with prog. It goes into this whole like bridge thing. It's so cool.
Yeah.
And then I also love from our most recent EP, Assemble to Order. The song Assemble to Order I love that we play live, and then this Curse I is very special to me.
Yeah.
I would go with Machine as my favorite, but that's mostly because I'm a huge fan of Fear Factory. And so when I first heard that song, I almost wanted to put in like the kind of picking that you would hear on a song like Power Shifter or one of those things, because that's what it really felt like to me. And plus, even the tuning matched. So yeah, like for me, that song is like, it's like getting to play a Fear Factory song without actually playing a Fear Factory song, and getting to like. For the solo, I even borrowed some of the influences from Dino Cazares. I was like, I thought because his other band, Divine Heresy, I like them too. So the solo because he doesn't do solos with Fear Factory, he mostly does them with Divine Heresy. So it was fun. It was fun being able to kind of put all of that influences from one of my favorite bands into that song. So
excellent call out, by the way. Obsolete was one of the first albums I ever bought with my own money.
Oh my God, that record. I still can't believe it that in 1998, that was like MTV, of all people, MTV rated it like album of the year. And then plus, they did something with WCW, the wrestling company.
Yeah.
They actually, Fear Factory was playing on the side while the match was happening, and they were playing Shock
Nice.
from that record.
And I mean, you have classics like Shock and Edge Crusher on there. They're just brutal. I love it.
Oh, totally.
All right, who's next? I go next.
Yeah.
I feel like my favorite, probably since I joined, is The Seasons. I want to say, just because when I initially heard that song, just like start to finish, that was like the one that I was just like, I want to play this all the time.
Yeah.
I love that song, especially. That's my favorite, or that and Lost Myself are my favorites from Perception. But I will say, fun fact about that song, that was the only song I have ever dreamt up. That's how I wrote it. I had a dream, and I dreamt up that song.
Really?
Cool.
Yeah. So to me, that song's special, The Seasons, because I had a dream. I heard it on the radio, and that was the title, The Seasons. And I woke up, and I'm like, what is that? And I was like, oh, wait, that's my song.
All right, so I want to ask, before I ask Christian and Matt, so I guess that's something. What do you do to get influence? Like what inspires you? Is there
It
anything
just
particular?
comes to me like randomly. Like that time was crazy. It was like literally like I woke up. I was like, "What is that song?" Because who like that's not. And I was like, realized, oh, it's my song. Like I just thought of it in my
So
dream.
quite literally came to you in a dream.
Literally. So that was
Yeah,
the
right.
only time that happened though. But for the others, it's usually like just it happens like randomly. Like I'll just think of something, a melody or guitar riff, and then I just go with it.
Nice.
I like record myself playing it on piano. Sometimes like I used to like not, I just think of it, but if it's good, like it stays stuck in my head. So
Yeah.
so then it just ends up like developing. So there's songs I have stuck in my head for like years. Some of these songs that we have, like I'll have in my head for years before we end up recording them.
Yeah, but you just got to whittle it down to something that's going to be really good, though.
Yeah, but I mean, usually when they're really good, they're just constantly like in my head. Like I can't forget it. Like it's just constantly on my mind. So then I just end up writing it, and it works out. So yeah, and each song is different. Each emotion that comes with the song is different. So
Yeah, and that's good. Don't limit yourself to one
No.
thing, right? So Christian, what would be your favorite song that you guys have done that you're just like really proud of?
I am so happy with the way this new EP is coming out. There's so many good songs coming out on it. Obviously, we can't talk about them a lot yet, but the one we have been playing live, Only Way Out, has got to be one of my favorite songs that we've ever done. The Seasons is a close second. A Semblance of Order, another great song, but definitely for me, Only Way Out right now is taking the cake.
That was my favorite song you guys did when you guys played at the Vault. That song was like, holy cow, this was really good. I cannot
There's
wait to hear
that and much more to come.
yeah. We're very excited about this new music. We feel like it's our best work yet.
Yeah, I will be promoting that for you guys because I it's not that you guys are just from Connecticut. 'Cause, listen, I'll root for anything that comes from Connecticut, but I want to just see you guys do well in general because I love seeing new metal bands just explode onto the scene.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Especially in this day and age, because I got into the metal scene a little later, right? So like I missed out on like some of the whole Enforcer or Ambush kind of them getting started, and so like seeing you guys get started, I feel like I want to be part of, like, I saw them at the Vault before they were playing in the arenas. So Matt, the question for you, is there a song that you are just really proud of?
I really enjoy, and we didn't play it at this last show, but I really enjoyed playing the song Episodic Waves. It's just got a bunch of like change ups, and it's I love playing the odd time signature stuff. So that one's just super fun to play.
Yeah. So from like listening to what you guys have like released, I think we're gonna go back to your earlier stuff. It's either Lost Within Myself. I think is like one of my favorite songs. That just has a very, very, like, that just has like a sound like this should have been, like if this was released in the 80s, this song would have been huge.
Thank you.
Sound to me. And
yeah. I was gonna say we love playing that one live. There wasn't enough time to throw it in the set at the vault, but that's definitely like a really fun one to do live.
Yeah, because like what was the? I gotta pull up on Spotify because I forget names. You Can't Look Away. This time,
yeah.
never. It's again like for your first, especially for your first two, like they're just they hit hard because like. I think we can I think a lot of bands do this, right? Like, first few things you do, something's the band. It's like it's always it can be good, but it's like okay, we're just trying to find our footing. What are we trying to do as a band? But those is like they know what they want to do right away.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to say?
Just thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
We're so happy to be
Yeah,
here.
it's been nice to talk.
Been really
Hang out
Please-
for a little bit.
Please check out all of our stuff on Facebook and Instagram to see where our next shows are coming up. It's dystopica.band. Check out our brand new cover of Anthrax Madhouse on YouTube. It's doing fantastic. It's a great song. We love doing that cover. And we're playing a bunch of great shows coming up. Come out, say hi. We're not gonna bite you. Come say hi, get a picture. Yeah, we love interacting with people. And anything else from everybody else?
Yep, and we got some new music in the works coming out later this year. And one of the new songs we have been playing live, Only Way Out. So if you want to hear it first, come to one of our shows.
Again, thank you for having us, and it was a blast talking to you guys, and I hope we get to do it again soon.
Oh, I was gonna say I would. You guys have an open invite. I would love to have you guys on because I noticed you guys are doing a festival. Which hey, that's always exciting.
Yes,
Maybe.
Very excited because as I mentioned before, I'm inspired by Gojira. We are open. Gojira's headlining that day at Rockfest, so it's going to be so amazing. Playing on the same stage and day as them, a band that is inspired us. So
it's also our farthest travel as a band so far. Going all the way out.
Yeah, it's our first tour.
Yeah,
long way from home.
I'm so excited for you guys because I'm going to make every effort to come out and see you guys at Toad's Place. I may just say for you guys because I'm not into cover bands. But I want to see you guys because you guys are like that's a band I'm going to see when they come around.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, we would love to have you back on maybe after that festival sometime this summer after the EP comes out so we can talk that because it's been a blast having you guys on. You are the first band that we've interviewed, and I don't think you will be the last. But you guys will forever be Bonded by Metal's first full band interview, and I'm so grateful that you guys would take time to talk to little guys like us. But people, these guys are great. Just don't take our word for it or their word. Well, you should take their word for it, but you need to listen to them. I will make sure their stuff is linked below because you got to do them the favor and check them out because they've been nice enough to talk to us and they're just really, really good. But until I rear my voice in the next one, live hard and stay free.
Hell yeah.